We were told the game was over before we'd even started. We were told our bodies weren't made for it. It wasn't our time to play. We played anyway. And together we played like there was no tomorrow. And they told us that was fine. You can play. You're good enough. And thought that was good enough for us. It wasn't. We are relentless. The game isn't over until we say it's over. Until we get everything we've given everything for. Until we level the playing field.
Lidl, proud supporters of ladies Gaelic football.
You still haven't gone full Lidl. Go on, make big savings like this lot.
Pea nuggets.
Excuse me?
You'd like them pea nuggets.
Once again?
Pea nuggets. They're vegan.
Nuggets?
Yeah.
I like prawns, but how do you cook them?
Oh, there's loads of ways.
Can I microwave them?
No.
Join in and go full Lidl this year.
Did you get milk?
Shop without compromise and pay less.
Hello and welcome to Austin Stack Park in Tralee, the venue for the third round of the Lidl Ladies National Football League, as Kerry welcome Donegal to town for a high noon showdown. It's last year's beaten All-Ireland finalists Kerry, who are unbeaten after 2 wins from their opening 2 games in this league campaign, against visitors Donegal, still chasing their first victory of the season after back-to-back defeats. So let's take a quick check on the teams then, starting with the home side. Kerry, their joint managers Dara Long and Declan Quill, well, they have shuffled their pack for today's game with 8 changes in personnel. That means 8 of the All-Ireland final team from last summer start. The new faces that come into the starting 15 today are the all-star fullback Kaylee Cronin, Aoife Delan, Ciara McCarthy, Mary O'Connell, Patrice Diggin, Anna Galvin, Rachel Dwyer and Louise Nimura-Herthig, all recalled to the Kerry starting team, with quite a few changes from the side that started that win over Mayo in Bacon last weekend. Kerry are captained by number 13, Shifra O'Shea, who has been in high-scoring form in the first couple of rounds. Looking now at Donegal and their manager, Maxi Curran. Well, he's made 2 changes to the team that lost to All-Ireland champions Meath last weekend, with Niamh Carr and coach Gillespie coming in with Katie Dowds and Suzanne White, the players who dropped out from the original team named in the match programme. But since that team was submitted, Maxi Curran has actually made a couple of extra changes. Suzanne White comes back in now wearing 18. She'll start on the half-forward line, while Catherine Boyle has also been called up and wears number 20. So Suzanne White at 18 and Catherine Boyle wearing number 20. They're the 2 late changes in the Donegal starting team, but a lot of familiar names, household names, missing from that Donegal team today. We'll touch on that in just a few moments, because I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Mags O'Donoghue, the former Kerry footballer, for commentary this afternoon. And Mags, just let's take another look at those team sheets before we go any further. Kerry, a very good start, very positive start. Narrow win over Waterford, beat Mayo on the road last Sunday, and yet Dara Long and Declan Quill, they've made 8 changes to the starting team today. What do you make of that?
Yeah, hi Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. I suppose with 2 away wins for Kerry under their belts and 2 very tough matches where they had to grind out kind of results towards the end of matches and hold on to possession, see out the wins. It affords Dara and Declan a kind of a chance to maybe have a look at other people in the panel and give them a bit of experience before we go into the middle and later stages of the league.
When you look at that Kerry team then that goes out today, where do they build a platform for victory? Who are the players that have been playing well and that Kerry will look to today to drive it on again?
I suppose in the backs, like having an all-star to be able to call upon to come back into the team today is phenomenal. At full back for Katie Cronin, Emma Costello in centre back, and Ashling O'Connell at wing back. Like, they're all players that will grind out and work hard for you. Great to give Mary O'Connell a go in midfield. You know, they're alongside Caught Lynch. They'll work really, really well together. Niamh Carmody has been a great find over the last number of seasons. She's a workhorse. She'll really grind out and work with her team. And you can't, as you said yourself, Siobhan O'Shea's on flying form this year.
Just looking at the subs bench before we move on to Donegal, there are a few names that jump out, but Louise Galvin, number 22, the Irish international basketballer, Irish international rugby player, and a very, very good Gaelic footballer as well. What a boost it is to have somebody like that to have waiting in the wings to come in.
Yeah, even Louise's mental strength and her experience that she can pass on to all the girls around her. Somebody like that to call upon that has the wealth of knowledge and playing lots of different matches. Sure, that's phenomenal. She will really steady the ship I do expect to see her at some stage today, and that she will be introduced at some stage when things are maybe going tough as well for the girls.
Just to take a quick look at Donegal, their issues have been easy to spot in those first two games. Only scored 6 points down in Tuam against Galway, only 5 points last weekend at home to Meath. Scoring has been a major issue. There are a lot of big names not involved for the last few weeks. They're not involved today either. The McLaughlins, Niamh and Geraldine would be the most familiar of them, but you were just mentioning to me off air earlier, there are another 3 or 4 nailed on starters who for one reason or another not involved at the moment.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one, I suppose. Like, you're in Division 1 in the league, you kind of want to steady your ship at the start of the season, but I'd say Maxie Curran is kind of giving a nod to the younger players, maybe looking to the future, maybe looking to the championship later in the year. Those girls that we mentioned, the McLaughlins, Yvonne McGonigal, Niamh Hegarty, they're all girls that will definitely see football in the championship.
We'll pause now for Aran Navean. So the scene set at Austin Stack Park in Tralee for round 3 of the Lidl Ladies National Football League. Kerry unbeaten, 100% record coming into today's game. Last year's beaten All-Ireland finalists, picking up where they left off in 2022 under joint managers Darragh Long and Declan Quill. And as we mentioned, they've made quite a few changes, 8 in all from the team that ground out an impressive victory over Mayo last weekend, while Donegal, well, they really have made a slow start to life in Division 1 this season. Their manager, Maxie Curran, without some of his tried and trusted lieutenants for the last couple of weeks and again today. But as Mag said, an opportunity for others to stake a claim, to nail down and cement their positions in the matchday squad and in the first 15. But today they will need to hit the ground running if they're to spring a surprise and take down Kerry in their own backyard. Our referee is Shane Curley from County Galway, very experienced on the circuit at this stage. Mags, without putting words in your mouth, you expecting a Kerry win?
I don't think it'll be as easy as that. Like, Donegal will be like, I suppose, an animal that are wounded. They're after 2 losses at the start of the league. Their 3rd defeat, you would know where you would be in relation to relegation and stuff. So I would still see Kerry, but it's not going to be as easy as a foregone conclusion.
So we're off and running in Tralee. Lovely picturesque venue for a game. Decent crowd in, the vast majority of them, as you'd expect, supporting Kerry, wearing Kerry colours and watching Kerry construct the first attack of the game. They're playing down towards the Dunstores end of the ground, away to our left here in the first half. There's a gentle breeze. You can see the flags down at pitch side fluttering ever so slightly in Kerry's favour in the opening half. But this is a fine run by Tara Hegarty, who brings Donegal into the Kerry half for the first time and gives them a chance perhaps to construct a move. Now Amy Boyle-Carr, the other wing back, support outside from Katie Long from Glenfin. Kerry, though, have dropped plenty of bodies back behind the ball. They will shut up shop, as it were, and Donegal will have a little nibble around the edge of this defensive screen. Early touch for Catherine Boyle. Now Emer Gallagher, Donegal captain today. Angle support run is made by Katie Long again. Nice move this. Shannon McGroddy fires it up and over the bar, and Donegal are out in front after 70 seconds.
Yeah, great run there, supporting the play at the very end. The shot opened up and she took it well.
So that's a good positive start by Donegal. And a first kick out of the day for Mary Ellen Bulger, the Kerry goalkeeper. Did her leaving cert last year, getting a chance to wear the number 1 jersey again today. Free to Donegal. Popped in by Amy Boyle-Carr. Picks out her target. Her target is Suzanne White. And that shot just crashes back off the crossbar. Donegal denied a goal inside the first couple of minutes by a lick of paint here at Austin Stack Park. But Suzanne White has been playing really well in the last few weeks, and her confidence sky high. She took on that shot. Here come Donegal again now, trying to keep Kerry penned in. Catherine Boyle over on this right-hand side. Clips it in towards the full forward line again. In towards Suzanne White. Manages to win the break. Donegal have started brightly. Travelled down yesterday to shorten the journey. Stayed overnight just out the road, and certainly have arrived here in rude health by the looks of things, as Kerry break out of defence and go long. They're looking to release Shifra O'Shea, their captain. Very strong, rangy player, as is Louise Nimura-Herthig in the other corner. 3-time All-Star winner. Nice ball inside. They've opened up the Donegal defence, but just in the end ran out of road. But already an early glimpse of O'Shea and Nimura-Herthig doing what they do so well.
Yeah, great link play there by Shifra into Louise. Maybe could have cut it back there at the very end, besides forcing the shot.
So 3 minutes gone. Donegal have opened the scoring, and we have a stoppage here to allow one of the Donegal defenders to receive attention. That gives us a chance, Mags, maybe to take a quick look at matchups, and you can tell us what you've spotted in the first few minutes in terms of who's picking up who.
Yeah, even there, Ciara O'Brien is, it looks like Donegal are trying to isolate her, maybe in at the full-back position. The ball has been given in there a few times, got away there, maybe Kerry got away with the ball coming back off the crossbar. Yeah, there's some interesting matchups out there, all right. Bit of loose play as well. Donegal seem to be moving well coming forward.
Well, it's been very contrasting starts to this league campaign for Kerry and Donegal. Kerry pipped Waterford in round 1 in a game played over in Pilltown. Danielle O'Leary popping up deep in stoppage time to grab a winning score. And then they travelled up to Mayo last weekend to make it 2 wins from 2, put down an early marker. While on Donegal, from their point of view, well, putting scores on the board, that's been the big issue for them. Beaten 11-6 by Galway in Tuam Stadium in round 1, and then turned over 1-7 to 5 points by Meath up in Letterkenny last weekend. And now they've got further issues here. Maxi Kern is going to have to make a change inside the first 5 minutes. He's got an injury in defence, and this is the last thing that Donegal will have wanted, will have needed, particularly obviously, Mags, with missing so many of their squad in the first place.
That's right, yeah. So it's an interesting one here now. They'll have to get an early substitution on, which maybe they wouldn't want to have done.
Well, that looks like Catherine Boyle, who is making her way towards the sideline. Just confirm that in a second for you. I can tell you it is most certainly Caoimhe Keown who's coming in to replace her injured teammate. It is indeed Catherine Boyle from St. Eunan's. Well, what a sad way for her day to end inside the first few minutes. Just injured herself in that last passage of play, trying to make a challenge. Can't continue. And Caoimhe Keown is on for Donegal. Caoimhe, who plays with the Éirua club, in to try and help out in defence, and called into action immediately as Kerry come on the attack. It's Nimura-Herthig taking the hand pass in her stride, and she has the strength and composure to drive over the equaliser. Kerry up and running after less than 6 minutes.
Yeah, tough score there by Louise. It was very crowded around her, found the gap and blasted it over the bar.
Well, I can see already there's been a reshuffle in the Donegal team just to accommodate that change. Caoimhe Keown looks to have gone straight into midfield to pick up Mary O'Connell, as Donegal tried to build from the back through Sashka Boyle. Hit a point in the opening round against Galway, likes to get forward, and she does just that. Nice ball up along the wing to find Niamh Carr, called in to the starting 15 today. I know one of the players who's dropped out, Katie Dowds, has her TY prom later tonight, so hasn't travelled to Kerry, as Louise Ní Murchurthaigh goes racing out towards the corner flag, tracked by the defender. Support inside from Rachel Dwyer, one of the Southern Gaels contingent. Nice build up by Kerry. Final shot flashed in by Anna Galvin. Just couldn't get the boot behind it, and gathered by Aoife McColgan from Malin, who has had surely the longest distance to travel of any of the players out there today. Plays her club football up in Malin right now, guarding the nets here in Tralee, as Niamh Carmody shoots on sight, and that shot flies wide. 7 minutes gone, a point apiece, and Mags O'Donoghue, we're still waiting really for the game to get into any sort of a rhythm.
Definitely, Mike. Yeah, it's a bit sloppy with a couple of passes going astray, even that last free kick straight to the opposition player standing all on her own. Maybe the journey, maybe just getting the first few balls in play. Interesting setup for their kick out as well. It's nearly straight up the middle, all the Donegal girls kind of line up, so be interesting to see where this one goes.
Well, we're watching last year's beaten All-Ireland semi-finalist Donegal taking on last year's beaten All-Ireland finalists, so two of the top 4 teams in the country last season going head-to-head here in Tralee, and both of them with high hopes of having another long run in Championship 2023. But right now it's all about picking up 2 vital league points. From a Kerry point of view, it would keep them unbeaten and sitting pretty at the top of Division 1. From a Donegal perspective, it would get them up off the basement of the top flight and get their season properly started. But right now they're trying to build something out around the 45-metre line. Amy Boyle-Carr from Naomh Connell went to cut inside there, driven back out again by Anna Galvin. Brilliant block as well by the midfielder. That was Mary O'Connell working hard. Suzanne White with the final shot, and Suzanne White sees that effort tail across the face of goal and wide. But a noticeable feature of the first 8-9 minutes, Mags, is the work rate of the Kerry midfield and half forward line, tracking back and overcrowding and crowding out that Donegal attack.
Definitely, there's Donegal players are moving all around. They're not sticking to their positions really. There's plenty of support play, so the girls have to work hard to track them back. Donegal trying to find that gap in the forward lines to get their shot off.
Kerry, of course, promoted to Division 1 on the back of a Division 2 title-winning season last year. Really had a very impressive 2022, announced their arrival, their return to the top table of ladies football, as Leisha Ryan cuts through, looking to link inside with Shannon McGrady, but I think she just lost her bearings, thought she was closer to the goal than she actually was, tried to palm it past Mary Ellen Bulger. But a rare example, a rare occasion in the last 5-6 minutes when Donegal have actually managed to get through.
Definitely, and she might have been a little better to, if she'd known where she was, to grab that ball. Maybe she had time to maybe take it, but again, Donegal finding gaps there in that Kerry defence.
Kaylee Cronin, the all-star, picks out Shifra O'Shea to the totally unmarked midfielder. Koch Lynch comes through, but couldn't wrap her foot around that ball. It's another Kerry wide. It's another poor miss. But Kerry made it look easy up to the final pass and really should be in front. Aoife McColgan just weighing up her options. Sashka Boyle peels away to her left, and that creates the space for Evelyn McGinley, the Donegal fullback, to try and set something in motion. A little necklace of hand passes, and now Shelley Tuhig from St Mary's and Convoy is in possession over on this right hand side, looking to link with Katie Long, who made a run forward in support. Just overcooked the pass, possession back to Kerry again.
Interesting about Shelley Tuhig there. She's actually a Cork woman herself, living up in Donegal, so she has swapped counties there.
Should have recognised the surname. It's a fine Cork surname, Tuhig. Shelley wearing 8 for Donegal, looking now to track back and clog up the avenues of attack for the likes of Rachel Dwyer. Ball popped inside to Shifra O'Shea. She's been red hot in the first couple of rounds, and that is Shifra O'Shea's account open for round 3. Kerry hit the front after a few false starts, a few poor wides. Kerry lead 2-1.
Yeah, great score there by Shifra O'Shea. She backed herself and kicked over what was kind of a blanket defence at that time. A great score.
Kick out comes from Aoife McColgan. Donegal looking to mix it up. Won by Coach Lynch from Castle Island to Rachel Dwyer. Kick blocked down by Emer Gallagher, the Donegal captain. Break falls the way of Aisling O'Connell. One of the All-Stars broke the tackle but was barging, and that will be a free to Donegal. Referee Shane Curley right up with the play, very emphatically pointing in Donegal's direction. And you get the sense that was a let-off because Kerry had an overlap and they had bodies on that right-hand side.
Definitely, if they got the ball over there, they would have been in.
So 12 minutes gone. It's been every bit as tight as that scoreline suggests, as Saskia Long pops up on this right-hand side. Cuiva Keown just couldn't get that ball under control. Spilled in the tackle, and Emma Costello comes striding out of the Kerry defence. Just one player ahead of her. She's got now another breaking to the right. Waits for the support run of Shifra O'Shea, looking to take on Roisin Rogers on the outside. O'Shea backs herself, cracks off the crossbar, and the race is on to the break. The race is won by a Kerry woman, pulled on first time, and that's Patrice Diggin with the old style top of the toe, who drives it up and over the bar to double Kerry's advantage.
Yeah, well followed there by the keeper. That could have dropped in any way, so well watched by her off the crossbar and followed in there well by Patrice Diggin.
So Patrice Diggin from the Fanoog St. Senans club opens her scoring account, and Kerry ease into a 3-1 lead. It's been quite an enjoyable first 13 minutes. Both teams trying to take the game to one another. Cuiva Keown trying to use her athleticism over on this right-hand side. Just being pulled back there, spotted by the referee. I think he's pinged Emma Costello for that tackle, just having a word in her ear.
May even be ticked, I'd say, maybe.
Amy Boyle-Carr waiting for somebody to make a move. Everybody very static in front of her. I see some of the Kerry management team just trying to organise their defence, as Amy Boyle-Carr took a long time over that free. They were also looking in the direction, I think, of Shane Curley, wondering how long. Free now is taken, and Donegal are on the front foot, but not for long. Ball lost in the tackle again. This is where Kerry are so dangerous, when they break out of defence at speed. Kaylee Cronin rather, colliding there at full throttle with Emer Gallagher. And this is something we've seen in the first couple of rounds, Mags. It's become a real talking point in ladies football, when the player coming out with the ball often collides with the tackler and the free goes against the ball carrier. It takes a bit of getting used to.
It is that charge foul. Sometimes you're waiting for the referee to whistle to see which way is it actually going. Sometimes it can be kind of hard as you're coming out if a player just steps in front of you, but I suppose if you're there and your feet are planted and you take the impact, it looks like maybe even counties are getting used to that and maybe training towards that kind of a style as well.
So the free this time goes Donegal's way. Emer Gallagher will take it again in her own time. Donegal squeezing every last second out of these frees. They want to be precise, and this time it works out. Shannon McGroddy, referee, playing an advantage. None coming, so he's going to bring it back. And almost like rugby league style, 2 or 3 frees. Donegal make their way 30-40 metres up the field.
They're gaining metres every time, yeah, but they're patient enough in their play because Kerry are filing back and getting quite crowded back there, so they're using the ball quite well and finding that gap.
Suzanne White then to kick this free. Hit 8 points in the first 2 games to make her Donegal's top scorer in the Lidl Ladies National League so far. 6 of those 8 points have come from frees, so this should be well within her range. Drops short, drops dangerously on the edge of the square. Kerry defenders quickest to react, and the danger cleared.
That was a dangerous ball there into the danger zone, but dealt with well.
Kerry have got it away from the scoring zone, and now they're out of their own 45. Ciara O'Brien from Lawn Rangers moves the ball on as quickly as she could to Shifra O'Shea. Long ball in, once again looking for the target woman in the full forward line. Louise Di Murrah-Herthig looking to lose Evelyn McGinley. Murrah-Herthig in full flight. Beautiful score. That's just why she's a 3-time All-Star and one of the very best finishers in the game.
Yeah, very natural kick there at the end, but lovely to see the long kick passing as well and the running off the shoulder. And Louise, like she always does, just nice and easy, slots it over the bar.
And in the blink of an eye, Kerry's lead out to 3 points now, 4-1. 4 points without reply for the All-Ireland finalists.
Yes, yeah.
Aoife McColgan, she was looking for Saskia Boyle. She found instead Kerry's wing forward, and all of a sudden Donegal are on the back foot again. They've got 12 players back inside their own 45. Kerry in possession. Ciara McCarthy goes long, looking to kick over the press. Finds the sweeper Emer Gallagher, and Emer Gallagher gets it away as far as Shelley Tuig on that far side of the field. This is now where Donegal will have to be so careful, trying to beat that line of Kerry tacklers. Cuiva Keown swallowed up by 3 or 4 of them. Referee Shane Curley gives the free to Donegal, and you can hear the reaction of the Kerry management.
Yeah, they're just down here in front of us. They're not quite happy with that. They felt, I suppose, the arms were out, but the referee saw a bit of a tug, so the free goes Donegal's way. Linesman
down here, well, he got it in both ears there from the Kerry joint managers, one on his left, one on his right. I see Maxie Curran just making his way down towards the Kerry dugout as well. As back in the game, Donegal come forward. It's McGarvey. It's a goal chance. Suzanne White. And it's in the back of the net. Tara Hegarty to Suzanne White. And Donegal's top scorer pounces in the 19th minute for the first goal of the game. And Donegal, against the run of play, are level.
Yeah, what a good move there by them, and passing it to the right girl in the right position, and a great finish at the end. Just what Donegal needed at that time, and Kerry's lead is wiped out with one punch.
And that is Donegal's first goal of the Lidl Ladies National League 2023. Didn't hit the net against Galway or Meath. They've hit the net here in Tralee after 19 minutes. And we're right back at square one. 4 points, plays 1-1. And I think fair to say, Mags, the game needed that.
They did, definitely, yeah. Another point or two by Kerry there, you would have seen maybe the game die a little bit, but fair play to Donegal for working through there and getting that much needed score.
Kerry on the attack very quickly again. Tara Hegarty, one of only 4 players starting for Donegal today that also started last year's All-Ireland semi-final defeat to Meath. That'll just put into context how many players Maxie Curran is missing today. But Tara Hegarty again involved there. She also played that final pass to Suzanne White for the goal. And she's a big part of the Donegal game plan as Amy Boyle-Carr comes forward to the goal scorer. Suzanne White proving a real handful for that Kerry defence. Recycles the ball back outside to Shelley Tuig, another of the 2022 survivors, and now Katie Long. Nice build up here from Donegal, but can they finish what they've started? Long does well to pop it out through the side door to Shelley Tuig. Kerry have now got their defensive system set and ready, and the initial momentum of the Donegal attack is gone, trying to get it going again. It's McGrady, nice ball in over the top to Suzanne White. She's been fouled. Shane Curley has his hand in the air, and Donegal will get their free. Well, that was very nicely worked between Shannon McGrady and Suzanne White, who time and again have linked up really well.
They really have. They have a great understanding. That pass there was like through the eye of a needle there through the Kerry defence and straight into her, and she's got quite a good turn on her as well. It's hard to mark, so another foul given away there by Kerry.
This game being played here at Austin Stack Park in the shadow of the Slieve Mish Mountains. You can see them quite clearly over to our left-hand side. Little mist starting to develop in that part of the county at the moment, but thankfully no sign of rain here in Tralee Town just yet. Conditions good, and Kerry and Donegal making the best of it in the first 21 minutes. And believe it or not, this is a chance for Donegal to go back in front, having been played catch-up for most of the first half. They're ahead again, and it's that player, Suzanne White, that's kicked them there. That's now 1-1 for the Donegal number 18.
Yeah, and not only is she putting them over the bar, but her movement is quite good. She's moving all around. The girls are finding it quite difficult to mark her.
Mary Ellen Bulger with the kick out, the Southern Gales number 1. Kerry find their target, and Kerry are on the move. Good hands by Shifra O'Shea, out in front once more to her partner in crime, Louise Nimora Herthig. A lot of movement ahead of her. Tried to play a 1-2 with Mary O'Connell. Very nearly worked out. She was ankle tapped in any event. Free to Kerry. Breeze looks to have
picked up slightly.
Yeah, just a little. Flags starting to flutter down in front of us. Kerry have the benefit of it, and I think that's one of the reasons why Louise Nimora Herthig is going to take on this kick. Scored a goal against Mayo in round 2. Has already contributed 2 points this afternoon. Really good kick. You can chalk it down. 3 for Louise Nimora Herthig. Kerry back on level terms. And this is starting to look more and more, Mags, like a game between two of the top 4.
Definitely, yeah. It's a very entertaining game. There's a lot of tactics in it as well, and the way the style of play of both teams are quite similar.
Poor kick out from Aoife McColgan. It gives Kerry a chance to go back in front. And not for the first time. They've had difficulty shooting from that right wing. I make that now 3, if not 4 wides from almost identical positions.
Yeah, and you'd wonder, was that the right option there to take on that shot from that angle?
Well, on another day, Kerry would be in a very commanding position, but instead, despite playing with the wind, they find themselves deadlocked with Donegal here in Tralee. We're watching Evelyn McGinley from Termon to Cueva Keown. And now Tara Hegarty, the wing-back from Moville, loves to get forward, trying to stretch her legs. Just took too much out of that ball, still scrapping for possession. And the free goes her way.
Two Donegal forwards only inside the 45 now, staying quite close to each other, again trying to free up Susan White.
They're trying to get that running game going again. Shannon McGroddy breaks the tackle. Neat close control, support outside from Katie Long. Now Donegal commit bodies forward. Kerry players being encouraged to push out and engage the ball carrier, Shelley Tuhig. Sucks in a couple of defenders, links with Cueva Keown. Amy Boyle-Carr as Donegal hold possession. Suzanne White, a couple of dummy runs made inside, and Suzanne White just took too many steps, just got caught in 2 minds. Really good defensive work by Kerry.
Yeah, they weren't diving into the tackles. Donegal were being patient like they had been to see if they could free up somebody to take on a shot like they have for a couple of their scores so far. But just that time, just got caught in possession.
Donegal beaten in last year's league final by Meath by a couple of points. Also lost to the Royals in the All-Ireland semi-final last season, also by 2 points. So they certainly were there or thereabouts in 2022, Donegal. This new look 2023 version, well, they've acquitted themselves really well in the first 25 minutes here. Free goes against them on this occasion, though. I think Shane Curley felt that it was a use it or lose it situation, and Donegal didn't get it away quickly enough.
Yeah, or touched on the ground maybe. Same position as the last free kick now.
So all eyes on Louise Nimora Herthig from Corcaguina. This would be point number 4, and it would be good enough to put Kerry back in front. She's got a lovely technique, beautiful striker of a ball. 4 for her, 6 for Kerry. And she is fully justifying her recall to the Kerry attack.
Definitely, yeah. You can see there once she's practiced time and time again, it just comes naturally, her swing.
Kerry put on the full court press. They were set for that before the free was even taken. Just makes life that little bit harder for Aoife McColgan. Again, there's a lot of bodies around the break. Again, the decision goes Kerry's way. Donegal are finding it difficult in the last few minutes now just to get out of their own half as Kerry try to keep the pressure on. Mary O'Connell from Donegal, one of the clubs here in Tralee. Niamh Carmody with a little pop pass to the runner. That's Patrice Diggin. Back to Siofra O'Shea. So many shooters in this Kerry attack. So many capable of pulling the trigger. Donegal tracking runs. Shifting from the right wing all the way across to the left, looking to squeeze the space tighter and tighter. Now the pop pass comes. Nimura Hurtig, great hands, gets the shot in, but it was straight at Aoife McColgan. Did well to even get the shot away, got it on target, but McColgan in the right place. That's a loose hand pass though, intercepted by Emma Costello to the completely unmarked Nimura Hurtig, and that's too easy for a player of her calibre and quality. Well, denied initially the goal by McColgan, but takes the point.
Yeah, did well to pick up that last ball before the shot for the goal. Donegal again just letting the ball go back to Kerry a little bit too easily. Sees themselves open there for that kick from Louise at the end. Emma Costello down there now, but she's up again. And move number 6.
Yeah, Donegal also have concerns about Emer Gallagher. But how quickly things have changed again, Mags. We saw Kerry streak ahead 4 points to 1. Then Suzanne White gets the goal and a point. Donegal are back ahead again. And just look what Kerry have done since. They've rattled off 3 points without reply so quickly.
It seems like it's like one team goes ahead and the other team does exactly what they need to do to get back into the game. Like that goal from Donegal was crucial, but they're just turning over possession just a little bit too easily in their own half of the field and allowing Kerry to tap on a couple of points again. Yeah,
definitely on the evidence of the first 28 minutes. Kerry's scores coming that bit easier, and when you factor in the misses they've had as well. But no doubt, we were talking in the build-up a lot about Siofra O'Shea. It's been Louise Nimura Hurtig that's done so much of the damage. She's up to 5 points already.
Yeah, 2 from frees and 3 from open play. She just seems to find herself in that position.
So it's the league leaders, Kerry, setting the pace here at Austin Stack Park. Good news for Donegal is that Emer Gallagher, their captain, is good to go. As we tick into the final minutes of normal time, we will have quite a chunk of additional time, though we've had a few stoppages for injuries. That will allow Donegal a chance perhaps to eat into the deficit, or Kerry to extend their advantage. Sashka Boyle again keen to get up the field, but that's a poor ball. Easily cut out by the Kerry number 7, Aisling O'Connell. Plays her club football with Éire Óg in Cork.
A past club mate of my own in Scartaglen has transferred down to Cork with her job.
Yeah, what an addition she's been to Éire Óg, the all-star wing back. Donegal have managed to break up this Kerry attack though, and here they come, 3 of them working together in a little pod. One of them is Shelley Tuhig, was heading for the left wing, then cuts inside. Support from Tara Hegarty. Donegal pushing 11, 12 players up the field. Kerry funneling players back. All of the top teams now so well coached. All their defensive strategies brought to bear in this first half. But on a positive note for Donegal, when you consider they only scored 5 points in the entire game against Meath last weekend, they've got 1-2 on the board already. Question is, can they build on that now? This is better. Breaking the line, getting the shot in, ends up being a Gary Owen in on top of Suzanne White. She's after it. Has a bit of work to do. In fact, it's Emer Gallagher who gets there first. Gallagher to McGroddy. That was heavy. That was a heavy challenge. Down goes Shannon McGroddy. And that is most certainly a free in to Donegal. It was Niamh Carmody, I think, who came across and took the player and the ball all in one.
She did, yeah. Quite a tough challenge there, and hopefully that Shannon McGrody will be up and fine after that tackle.
Yet again, another example of just how hard Donegal have had to work for scoring chances, not to mind scores.
And they do quite well. Like they move the ball left to right. They're not shooting into tackle. They're moving the ball around, trying to find the gap. At times they just run out of options towards the end, but they're working really, really hard for each score.
Well, just look who's come up to kick the free. It's Aoife McColgan who's come all the way from goal. Now, can she make that long journey count?
An unusual one for ladies football.
Certainly is. Hasn't scored yet in this season's competition. Well, she's just put that right. That's a terrific kick from Aoife McColgan. Certainly not lacking in confidence.
Yeah,
struck it with
really well.
plenty of power and into the wind. Sends it flying between the sticks, and now it's 7 points to 1-3. It's a 1 point game here at Austin Stack Park, and this game so far, Mags, and hopefully we won't jinx the second half, but it's living up to expectations.
It most certainly is, yeah. There's non-stop. There's nobody taking their foot off the pedal out here.
So we're now into the heading towards the 3rd minute of additional time at the end of the first half. Kerry sweeping down the field in one of those trademark movements, looking to get Louise Nimura-Herthig on the ball, and they do. Plays a little dinked pass back as far as Coach Lynch. Kerry are on the front foot. Donegal forced them backwards. Mary O'Connell dummied the hand pass. Instead waits for the arrival of the centre forward, Niamh Carmody, trying to kick it through Tara Hegarty. Hegarty stood her ground, and what a first half Tara Hegarty's had for Donegal.
Yeah, she seems to be popping up everywhere.
She is the quintessential dynamic wing back, the Donegal number 7. Certainly from a defensive point of view, they've been busy in the first half, the Donegal back 6 and others, but they'll be quite content with their work up to this point. Very much right smack bang in contention. That was Leisha Ryan there, who just got bottled up. Kerry with a free, they take it quickly, and now Nimura-Herthig has got the defender one-on-one. Evelyn McGinley turns her inside, turns her out. Nimura-Herthig judges the breeze. That's surely one of, if not the score of the game from Louise Nimura-Herthig.
Yeah, she smelled blood there. She knew she was one-on-one with the back. Once she got the turn on her, it was over the bar. Again, had made the run previously to create that space for herself.
Well, that will turn out to be the last act of the first half. Referee Shane Curley blows the half-time whistle. Kerry finish the first half on a high with point number 6 from Louise Nimura-Herthig. Might be stretching it a little, Mags, but she is essentially the difference between the teams.
She is. It's just she's creating them few scores, like six points in the first half. She's doing quite well. Make for a very interesting second half.
Just your overall impressions of what you've seen so far. It's only round 3, Donegal coming down the long journey. They'd have to be low on confidence, but you wouldn't think it judging by the first half.
You're not seeing, like I said at the start, like they know that they can't have a third straight defeat without putting up some bit of a fight, and that's most certainly what they're doing here today. Kerry are getting nothing too easy. Everybody's on their toes and ready to take on this match.
Well, Kerry made a very positive start, raced into an early 3-point lead. They were reeled back in by Suzanne White's goal, but at the break, it is the last year's beaten All-Ireland finalists who are in the driving seat in the Lidl Ladies National League. Half-time at Austin Stack Park. Kerry lead Donegal 8 points to 1-3. We'll be back with second half commentary very shortly.
We were told the game was over before we'd even started. We were told our bodies weren't made for it. It wasn't our time to play. We played anyway. And together we played like there was no tomorrow. And they told us that was fine. You can play. You're good enough. And thought that was good enough for us. It wasn't. We are relentless. The game isn't over until we say it's over. Until we get everything we've given everything for. Until we level the playing field.
Lidl, proud supporters of ladies Gaelic football.
You still haven't gone full Lidl. Go on, make big savings like this lot.
Pea nuggets.
Excuse me?
You'd like them pea nuggets.
Once again?
Pea nuggets. They're vegan.
Nuggets?
Yeah.
I like prawns, but I heard you cook them.
Oh, there's loads of ways.
Can I microwave them?
No.
Join in and go full Lidl this year.
Did you get milk?
Shop without compromise and pay less.
And you're welcome back to Austin Stack Park in Tralee. Doesn't look like we've had any changes at the break. Looks like Dara Long and Declan Quill have left well enough alone from a Kerry point of view, and Maxi Curran happy to let the Donegal team that started also begin this second half. There's Mags O'Donoghue. That looks a lot more like you, Mags.
Poor old Caught Lynch got a raw deal there at the start of the match.
Yeah, we may have had some gremlins in the system as Donegal come forward, and with their first attack of the second half, they've hit another point and they've cut the deficit in half, and that looked like Suzanne White, who cut through and has now hit 1 goal and 2 points, leading the line brilliantly for Donegal so far.
It definitely is, yeah. She's their main talisman today.
So it's back to a 1-point game again. We were watching both sets of substitutes go through their half-time routines, and certainly quite an intense workout, particularly by the Kerry subs. A few of them, by the looks of things, primed and ready to come in during the course of the second half. We'd expect to see the likes of Hannah O'Donoghue and Lorraine Scanlon, Erica McGlynn, another who's come in off the bench a few times in rounds 1 and 2. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, Louise Galvin is there, ready, willing and able if required as well. But such ferocious competition for places, Mags, not just in the Kerry squad, but in the starting 15.
Definitely, yeah. And I suppose in both counties, that's something you want to have in your league, and that's the purpose of the league as well, getting your team up to speed, not just your 15 but your 30 in your panel or whatever you have.
Sashka Boyle coming out here for Donegal. Back to Tara Hegarty, and now Cueva Keown. She's made quite an impact since coming on for the injured Catherine Boyle after less than 5 minutes. Katie Long hit a point against Meath last weekend, yet to score here. And just for the record, Donegal now have scored more in this game than they managed in their entire matches against Galway and Meath. So Maxi Curran will take plenty of optimism from that particular statistic. Suzanne White's goal in the 18th minute, just giving them something to build on, a platform to work with, as Shannon McGroddy again cuts inside menacingly, making ground, looking to play a 1-2, fairly unorthodox, but it got there in the end. 3 Kerry defenders around her. That means there has to be space for somebody else, and there is for Shelley Tuig here, just being tracked by Aoife Delan from Austin Stacks, the local club here. Loose hand pass. Kerry waited for their chance to pounce, and now they do. Up to the spearhead of their attack, Louise Di Murrherthig. Playmaker, score taker, this time picks out Shifra O'Shea. Equally comfortable off either side. Back to Di Murrherthig. Advantage being played, and it's come back off the inside of the post. So nearly a spectacular Kerry goal. They'll get the free, but Louise Di Murrherthig is on fire this afternoon.
Yeah, she'd one thing in her mind there once she rounded that last defender. Nice link play with Shifra O'Shea. Great work by Niamh Carmody coming out there. She spotted the overpass and ran onto it and gave a great ball into Louise, which started that attack.
So the 2022 All-Star will kick the free that she won herself. And this would restore Kerry's 2-point advantage. Breeze has died off a little. Louise Di Murrherthig now up to 7 points and counting. But we were just chatting about it, Mags, at half-time. She's playing so well and looks so dangerous that Donegal will have to come up with a plan B to help out her marker and to try and double up, because all of the threat, all of the supply line going through Louise Di Murrherthig.
Yeah, we were expecting them to do something in the second half to kind of curtail her threat. Looking in, it's still kind of one-on-one, but I suppose it's early days yet in the second half.
Evelyn McGinley is the Donegal defender that's drawn the short straw so far, the fullback from Termon. But Donegal very much still in this game, making Kerry work for everything. Working for Donegal there was Roisin Rogers from the Rosses. managed to find Shannon McGrady all right, but McGrady then ran into turbulence, and because Donegal haven't retreated quickly enough, ball brought forward, and Niamh Carmody will take the free. Again, they're looking for Ní Murraghartaigh. Ball drawn to her like a magnet time and time again. This time she releases Niamh Carmody inside and continues her run. Pass is returned. Donegal have withdrawn 13 players just to try and stem the tide. Kerry's half-back line are up en masse now as well. McCarthy, Costello and O'Connell all advanced. Free in. That was clever play by Kerry. Well, they've been on the road a while, won far more matches than they lost last season, and you just get that sense, even though they have a lot of changes today, Mags, that they're very comfortable with the game plan, comfortable in each other's company almost.
Yeah, and I think last week after their last match, Lorraine Scanlon kind of referred to that. She said they trust any of the 30 that will go on the field at any one time. They kind of have that belief in each other that it's not just a starting 15, that they have confidence in their full 30. And I'm sure Donegal are the same. They have a few players to come back on, obviously, later in the season, but they can be very impressed with their display out here today so far.
Well, Louise Ní Murraghartaigh has her radar working perfectly, and it's something we remarked on earlier in the game as well, is that striking action, the way she kicks the ball. It just comes so easy to her.
It does, but like if you look back on footage of her taking those frees with the last 10 years, she's the same format, the same routine every time she takes free. It'd be a good example for any young players that are free takers for their club or for their county to find your routine and stick to it.
8 points now for the Kerry corner forward, as the home side just start to open up some daylight. 3 points clear now again.
Donegal still look threatening though when they're coming forward. They seem to find that killer pass.
Leisha Ryan back to Katie Long. This is Amy Boyle Carr. She's got support outside from Niamh Carr. Instead uses the corner forward, Ciara McGarvey. McGarvey runs into traffic. There was a little tug though. Just she was checked on her way by there by, I think it may have been Aoife Delan, and this will give Donegal a shot at goal and a chance to eat into the margin again, and no surprise to see Suzanne White coming out to take a look at it. Well, they beat Galway, Westmeath and Dublin in the league last season. Donegal still waiting for their first victory of 2023. Suzanne White looking to put that right, and Suzanne White is now up to 1-3. The Killybegs free taker making no mistake. Mary Ellen Bulger again finds her target. Kerry's so good at those set-piece routines. Niamh Carmody to Louise Ní Murraghartaigh. Back to the support runner. It's Mary O'Connell coming steaming through. Has the strength to hold off a couple of defenders. Picks out Siofra O'Shea. Really good block by Aoife McColgan. Now, looked like she may have led with the boot. That's not the way Shane Curley saw it. 45 is being given, but I think Kerry are querying whether or not that was a foot block.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the replay on that one, all right, to see if it was the foot or not.
Yeah, that was Aoife McColgan who came out very quickly, and in real time it did look like she certainly blocked the ball with her boot, with her lower leg. Now, whether or not there was intent there, obviously the referee didn't feel there was. But Siofra O'Shea, when she cut through there, I think we all expected to see the net bulge.
We did, but the keeper did very well to come out, and in fairness to her, she came out well and kind of closed down the threat, put Siofra under pressure and didn't give her time to place her shot. So she has to be given credit for that as well.
Quick 45 taken by Kerry, just trying to catch Donegal napping. Emma Costello from Fireys. As Kerry reset and work the ball over to the right-hand side. They are spending more and more time inside the Donegal half, and just as I say it, that ball has ran beyond Ciara McCarthy from Abbeydorney. Possession back to Donegal again, as Donegal are getting ready to make a couple of changes by the looks of things. Number 10, Jodie McFadden from Termon. And number 22, Nicole McLaughlin, are ready to come in. Maxi Curran obviously thinking about changing things up, because right now Donegal are in the hunt, but a couple more Kerry scores, or maybe even a first Kerry goal, Mags, and things could change.
Exactly, yeah. You'd be hoping for the sake of the game that it'd be Donegal might get the next score or two to keep it a minute, but it's a fierce, tight affair out there since the start of the second half.
Well, Kerry are also getting ready to make changes. 3 subs, in fact, ready to come in, as Aisling O'Connell cuts through, and Aisling O'Connell will not want to see that shot at goal again. Just skewed off her boot, and here come the cavalry. 3 Kerry subs arriving on block. It's Hannah O'Donoghue, it's Lorraine Scanlon, and it's Niamh Nicroher, all arriving. And the players who are coming out are Ciara McCarthy, Niamh Carmody. There's certainly 2 of them. And here comes the third, Rachel Dwyer. And Donegal using this break and play to bring in Nicole McLaughlin. So we've reached that point of the game where it's starting to take its toll. Both management teams looking to freshen things up, and Roisin Rogers is the Donegal player who's coming out. So maybe Max, tell us a little bit about the trio that Kerry have just drafted in there.
Yeah, the 3 girls are coming in there now. So Lorraine Scanlon, obviously player of the match in last week's match, is going to strengthen things around the middle of the field. I suppose the Kerry management feel that they need to have a bit of an up in intensity on the field. Hannah O'Donoghue in the forward line, she'd be a great threat off her left side. So yeah, they should be 3 great additions into the team. Same for the Donegal girls, two additions in again. Freshen things up, getting a bit more intensity into the game on both sides. Donegal found a player there fairly easily off of the sideline kick.
Tara Hegarty just found herself in splendid isolation. Nobody picking her up, but Donegal are unable to make much headway. Stopped pretty quickly there. And again, there's that free for barging, that contact free that goes against Donegal, and we'll have a stoppage here. One of their players just picked up a bang to the head, and that will need to be checked out. But Kerry's physical strength, it was something you remarked on, Mags, at half-time, that again the S&C work that Kerry have done, and just the physique of some of their players in key positions, it tells when Donegal bring the ball into contact.
Yeah, more often than not, kind of the Kerry girls are holding their ground and able to withstand those tackles. Now again, I'm sure Donegal are doing the exact same above in their county, and there's some younger girls on the field. Kerry have been on the road now as a panel with the last 2 or 3 years, and are 2 or 3 years down the road in that kind of programme that they have.
Donegal and Maxi Curran have just made another change. Sashka Boyle has been taken out of their defence. Just give you a name and a number on the player who's come in a moment, but Nicole McLaughlin has also joined the game. She was being held in reserve there for a few minutes. In fact, it may well be Nicole McLaughlin that's replaced Sashka Boyle, but from now on, more and more subs will start to spill into the game as we head towards the end of the third quarter. The weather has broken here in Tralee. There's quite a heavy shower of rain now. It's falling into the faces of the Kerry players as they make their way down the field. Here's Louise Di Murra-Herthig. She's 28 years of age, but has got quite the body of work already done for Kerry in the last decade or so, and has done a lot of damage today. Again involved, as is the fullback Kaylee Cronin from the Dr. Crokes club in Killarney. This is Patrice Diggin, and now the wing back Aisling O'Connell. Ball just broke off Sheafra O'Shea, clipped inside by Carmody, looking to release the runner. Well, they love to mix up that long and short game, Kerry, and again, when they're on the front foot, when they're in full flight, they're a joy to watch. But credit where it's due, Donegal's defence again holds firm.
They're not giving them anything easy. They're finding it hard to break them down at times, and this game isn't over at all yet. Well,
Kerry have come through a couple of tough battles in rounds 1 and 2. Waterford pushed them every step of the way in round 1 before Danielle O'Leary came up with the winning score, and then against Mayo last weekend, well, that game hung in the balance right up until the last couple of moments as well. So they've certainly had their guts checked in the last couple of weeks, Kerry. And likewise again in the first 45 minutes here. Last year's All-Ireland semi-finalist Donegal are certainly some of those players giving as good as they're getting. Niamh Carr in the centre of the field for Donegal. Wind and rain behind them. Nicole McLaughlin looking to play it long in towards the corner forward Ciara McGarvey, but McGarvey had moved to the left, cut out instead by this player, the cornerback Aoife Delan. Delan driving out towards the left wing, just again got caught in a few minds there, thought about the pass, then I think her teammate had turned her back on her, and free against Kerry for overcarrying in the end.
Yeah, just one of those things where you're about to give it and you change your mind and you just get caught for that overcarrying.
Donegal are getting ready, by the way, to bring in coach Gillespie. Was named to start, didn't, but now Maxi Curran is writing the slip, as they say, getting ready to bring her into the game. This is Shannon McGrady with a powerful run, driving right at the Kerry crossbar. Ball recycled back outside to Ciara McGarvey. Will it come in? Not quite enough. Just drops over the head of the umpire and out to the right and wide. Donegal really needed that score to ask a few more hard questions of Kerry.
Yeah, and I thought McGrady had found a gap there. She went on a powerful run, just checked back maybe just because she got closed up by the Kerry defence, but Donegal could really do with a score now.
We're into the last quarter here at Austin Stack Park in Tralee, and this Lidl Ladies National League Division 1 game still hanging in the balance. Leisha Ryan taking the long way around. A couple of Kerry defenders trying to stay with her. Recycle to Tuhig. Nice popped hand pass to Amy Boyle. Carr is taken down, and that will be a free in to Donegal. Well, they lack nothing in spirit and determination. The line breakers coming one after another, and a lot of people will be surprised with this Donegal performance.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Mike. It's like one person steps up and takes on the ball, and then they're passing it back, recycling it and making those cut and drives through. Kerry are just about holding them at the moment, but one time if they break through, you wouldn't know how this game would turn.
So a free to Donegal taken by Suzanne White, and she sweeps it up and over the bar. 1-4 for the Killybeg Star, and that's 1-6 for Donegal. 10 points, plays 1-6 as Kerry make a change. Declan Quill and Dara Long are shuffling their pack now quite a bit in the last 5-6 minutes, as is Maxi Curran. He's just brought in coach Gillespie. She's on. Player who's been taken out is Katie Long, and for Kerry it's number 20, Caoimhe Evans.
Yeah.
So changes on both sides, fresh legs on both sides, as one or the other tries to break the deadlock. This time the kick out from Mary Ellen Bulger is intercepted by Niamh Carr, who's wearing 2 but playing in an advanced position. Niamh Carr fouled, and now the question is, can Suzanne White kick the equaliser with 11 and a half minutes to go? Wind and rain behind her, just doesn't get a hold of that one. It's the first miscued effort from White, spilled by a teammate inside close to goal, and that is a good chance gone a-begging.
Yeah, the conditions have changed increasingly here. The wind has picked up. Kerry are finding it increasingly difficult to get out there, get the kick-outs. The ball is slippy, the wind is coming, or the rain is coming down, so it's quite difficult for the girls out there.
Well, you can see there Mary Ellen Bulger got right underneath that, held up in the wind, but it breaks kindly for Kerry, and now they will try and spend a little bit more time in the Donegal half after being penned in, as Mag said, for the last few minutes. That was Hannah O'Donoghue who played the initial pass there. Ball worked back as far as Niamh Ní Croghair, who goes long and direct into the wind, spilled by a defender. Chief Roche could be in. Terrific finish from point blank range. She makes absolutely no mistake. Siofra O'Shea, the Kerry captain, gave Aoife McColgan no chance, and there is the goal that Kerry have been hunting since half-time.
Yeah, Lorraine Scanlon had made a great run inside. She was the initial target pass, but the ball spilled and Siofra capitalised, as she often does, on a mistake.
Here they come again. O'Shea is the target. Siofra O'Shea fires it high and wide. How did she miss from there?
Yeah, I suppose she was just on coming down from the last phase of play after the goal and just blazed it just to the left and wide.
Well, you said it earlier, Mags, for all the good work and the good things that Donegal have done in this game, and they put themselves right back in contention. You always got the sense if Kerry could just break through once, there was a goal in that full forward line.
Yeah, definitely. They've been threatening with a while. Donegal have been standing steady and steadfast, but just a missed time pass, a slight mistake lets Kerry in.
Now, what can Donegal come up with by way of a response? Suzanne White in battling for it. So too is the substitute. That's Jodie McFadden. There's a foul. Donegal will get the free. And this really is unmissable from Suzanne White's point of view. She simply has to score here just to keep Donegal in touch with 9 minutes to go.
Yeah, exactly. And you would imagine she would if she can get a handle on the wind.
Well, they're all big kicks in the Lidl Ladies National League, particularly going down the stretch like this, and Suzanne White makes no mistake. She really has been doing the heavy lifting in the scoring sense for Donegal all through this game. 1-10 plays 1-7, and there's still a lot of time left. There must be the guts of 10 minutes with additional time, maybe a little more.
Easily, yeah, especially with all the substitutions as well.
Speaking of substitutions, I see Kerry getting ready to bring in Ailish Lynch and Ciara Murphy. They will be arriving into the game now any moment. Things a little quieter on the Donegal sideline as Maxi Curran ponders his next move. Right now he's encouraging Nicole McLaughlin to box in and bottle up the ball carrier. That's the Kerry substitute, Lorraine Scanlon. That was really clever play by Nicole McLaughlin.
Yeah, uses her physicality very well there, just to use the sideline as her friend, as they say, and helped it out over the sideline. Donegal
beat the press. Leisha Ryan to Emer Gallagher. Emer Gallagher to the wing back. That's Amy Boyle-Carr. And very quickly Donegal are inside the shooting zone again. Nicole McLaughlin. They reset to Leisha Ryan, the St. Eunan's Letterkenny player, across to Emer Gallagher. Amy Boyle-Carr has stayed forward. A real cut of a Ryan McHugh off Amy Boyle-Carr there when she gets on the ball, bobbing and weaving her way through the Kerry defenders. She stayed forward again here and is trying to move into position. Instead, the ball goes the other way. Popped by Gallagher to McLaughlin. Kerry defenders trying to not give away the free, but they haven't succeeded. Shane Curley spotted a tug on a jersey. And again, the ball carrying, the ball retention of Donegal, very impressive. Yeah, Maxi Curran has to be very impressed with that. Like, conditions aren't easy out there. The Kerry are being quite physical with these players, but they're still holding on to that ball and calling the frees. Well, we were expecting a double substitution by Kerry. They've actually made 3 changes. Fiona Tangney is the third player who's gone in there. For Anna Galvin. Ciara O'Brien out and Aoife Delan, I think. Well, the rolling substitutes certainly, they make things interesting for everybody. They keep the players on their toes. They keep those of us up in the press box on our toes as well, as Suzanne White drills over the free. She has done very, very little wrong, Suzanne White. Easy to see why she's been scoring heavily for Donegal over the last 2 or 3 weeks. 1-10 plays 1-8. Kerry haven't kicked on from the goal. In fact, Donegal have come back and got a couple of points. Exactly, yeah. And at the time when Kerry got the goal and got the next turnover, you said, OK, things might be changing here. But Donegal, in fairness to them, have worked really hard to get the next 2 scores in the game. Turnover by Niamh Croher. Good work to stop Donegal in their tracks. And now the break is on. Louise Ní Murchurthaigh looking to spin away from Evelyn McGinley. Heard the call inside. Here's a chance for Kerry to get in for a second goal. They're looking to put it on a plate for Shifra O'Shea. Blocked back there in the square, but touched on the ground. It's a penalty. Well, it was scrambled defence from Cuivicione. It was desperation stuff, really. Aoife McColgan and Cuivicione, well, they were prepared to use all means necessary to stop that effort from Shifra O'Shea. They've given away the penalty. And the bad news from a Donegal perspective is it's Louise Di Murrah-Hertig who's stepping up. I think, Mags, this goes in, it's game over.
Yeah, I think time, what you talking about, maybe 7-8 minutes left in the game, chasing a 7-point deficit at that stage, so or 5-point deficit. We'll see how this goes.
Louise Di Murrah-Hertig against Aoife McColgan. What a finish. Textbook finish from Louise Di Murrah-Hertig. 1 goal and 8 points for Kerry's leading lady today at Austin Stack Park in Tralee. 2-10 to 1-8, and that is how you take a penalty.
Yeah, and in fairness, keeper guessed right. It got right down into the corner. Couldn't have been placed better by Louise any bit to the left at all. The keeper would have made an excellent save. So, yeah, all good on both counts.
Well, that was as good a penalty as you'll see anywhere in the country this weekend. Better than most. Right into the corner, as Mag said. Aoife McColgan, guess right, was at full stretch, just couldn't get there. Donegal have come back down the field though, and Ciara McGarvey pops up with her first point of the game. 2-10 to 1-9 now here in Tralee, but the clock is ticking down relentlessly in the background, and that goal has just put Kerry out of Donegal's reach, you'd imagine, with 3.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, great response by Donegal, must be said, straight down the field to get the point, keep them in just about within touching distance, but will the time run out for them, I'm wondering.
Touch here for Niamh Crowher. She's done well since she came in. Ball shoveled backwards by Mary O'Connell and across the field by Kaylee Cronin. Here's Coach Lynch. Has support inside if she wants to use it, and she does, from Fiona Tangney to another of the substitutes. That's Lorraine Scanlon. Kerry play keep ball. Well, they're 4 points in front. Might be just a little early to be playing this type of game, Mags.
I was just thinking the same thing now. They did it very well when they were up the point and they were trying to hold on to about 1.5 minutes to go, but you'd be talking about 5 minutes at least here, I'd say.
Emma Costello breaks the line and gives it to Aisling O'Connell. Kerry trying to execute a fast break there. It was Lorraine Scanlon and Hannah O'Donoghue, two of the substitutes, but broken up by Cuivicione. What a shift she's put in since she came in after about 5 minutes. She has ran herself into the ground.
100%. She's put her hand up to be maybe a starter for Maxi Curran the next day. Called upon very early, but was ready and well able to get involved from the very beginning.
Kerry have just made another change. Louise Galvin is on, number 22, the Irish international rugby player and basketballer. This will be very good news for Kerry supporters to see her back on the field again. Donegal are getting ready any moment now to bring in Danielle McDevitt. We're into the 29th minute. We will have plenty of stoppage time though, and if Donegal were to score a goal, Mags, well, all bets would be off.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Free goes against them here though. That was a big call, but the correct one. Nicole McLaughlin just pinged for over carrying as down along the left hand side come Kerry.
The familiar step there of Louise Galvin on the first ball she gets on.
Well, as a rugby player, she's got any amount of them to call on, but as you said, yes, she just stepped away from the defender so confidently there. Be interesting to see what sort of an involvement she can have in the next few minutes as Donegal get a chance to make their change. But regardless of how this finishes up now, heading into round 4, Mags, Donegal are going to take a lot of heart from this performance.
Oh, 100%, yeah. Like, they've been, apart from a couple of scores that Kerry got kind of to break away, they've been working so hard. Even the substitutions that they've made haven't made a massive impact on them as a team. So it must be, there's a lot of positives to take after this long journey down to Kerry.
So this game has swung into the home straight now here at Austin Stack Park. It's turned into quite the soft day here in Tralee. A steady drizzle falling throughout the course of this second half. But it's been a really enjoyable game. Easy to see just why Kerry and Donegal were both in the mix for league and championship honours last year. And by the evidence of what we've seen today, Mags, they'll be among the teams to beat again this year.
Oh, you'd imagine, like, with all this experience into all the players on both panels, I suppose that's the good thing with the rolling subs. You do get time and you do get mileage on the players playing at Division 1, a step up from Kerry from last year to be in Division 1, and with the Donegal younger players and maybe less experienced players getting the experience, is going to be positive for them in the championship.
Well, both of these teams will be in action again on Sunday, the 19th of February. Kerry at home to Dublin, Donegal at home to Waterford. No easy games in the top flight of the Lidl Ladies National League, that's for sure. We're into stoppage time in Tralee. Kerry lead by 4. Louise Di Murrah-Hertig's goal from a penalty just a few moments ago. It looks like it will be the game-breaking, game-defining score.
And there have been 3 substitutions for Kerry. Number 17,
in fact, that Kerry-Dublin game in round 4 has been moved to Saturday, I would imagine, for broadcast purposes. So Kerry-Dublin, 5:15, Saturday the 18th of February, and then on the Sunday, Donegal at home to Waterford. Well, this game has had so many twists and turns, Mags, and yet, when you boil it all down, were it not for Louise Di Murrah-Hertig's nerveless penalty, these would be very anxious moments for Kerry.
They definitely would, yeah. I suppose Louise with a goal from penalty and 4 frees as well. So, like that, sticking to routine, practice on those set plays.
Ciara McGarvey as Donegal come chasing a second goal themselves. She's been taken down outside the 14-yard line. A wall of Kerry defenders being summoned back onto the line by Mary Ellen Bulger. Kerry taking no chances, because were Donegal to hit the back of the net right now, well, we would get the grandstand finish, that's for sure.
And it looks like the girls are asking how much time is left to the referee.
Well, we're 2 minutes into additional time already. Mary Ellen Bulger has called for reinforcements, so Suzanne White will tap it over the bar, and Donegal will take their chances, I think, with the kick out. One kick of the ball between the teams, 210 to 110.
Yeah, it's been the most entertaining match, yeah, and right till the very end, we're still in it. We're still on the edge of our seats waiting to see what happens.
Everybody watching Shane Curley, the referee. He's going to let us play on a little longer. Donegal after a turnover. Kerry just trying to play it safe. The full-back, Kaylee Cronin, has painted herself into a corner. She was being chased down by 2 or 3 Donegal forwards. One of them was certainly Danielle McDevitt, and the plot thickens.
Yeah, and only one, no, not even one, nobody in the other half of the field now. Even the goalkeeper is up past the halfway line for Donegal. There's 30 players in the one half of the field.
Well, obviously, one of the Kerry defenders has spoken out of turn, because Shane Curley has brought that ball in along the 13-metre line. The angle is much more favourable for Suzanne White. She's asking, I think, Shane Curley what's left. Kerry have brought 5 or 6 players back onto the line. So Suzanne White, will she tap it over or go for goal? Could well depend on what Shane Curley has just told her. Referee is ushering a few defenders backwards.
She looks like she's going for it.
Certainly the body language would suggest she's winding up all right. She's getting in the zone, toe tapping furiously. Here she comes. Shot flashes over. No issue with power, but it was always rising. Another for Suzanne White, who has at times single-handedly kept the scoreboard ticking for Donegal. There goes the full-time whistle. Kerry come out on top. They maintain their 100% record, their unbeaten start to the Lidl Ladies National League Division 1 campaign. They've prevailed by 210 to 111. Louise Di Murrah-Hertig shooting 1-8 for the winners. And Dara Long and Declan Quill, I think, Mags, they breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah, definitely. That was a nail-biting end to the match, but both teams should be very happy, and the sideline should be very happy with what they've learned from today's match, and getting so much experience into the girls in different types of the game, turning over possession, going up, having to claw your way back into the game. A lot to be learned there today.
Well, we're just watching Louise Nimura-Hertig and Suzanne White shaking hands. Without a shadow of a doubt, the two standout performers, certainly on the score sheet, but from general play as well.
I was just going to say the same thing, Mike. Yeah, it's easy to say, yeah, they got most of the scores for their teams, but they're just the way they led themselves and led their team out there today. The both girls definitely put in the performance for their teams.
Just before I ask you for your selection for player of the match, and I think we may have teed it up already, your overall impressions now of what you saw here heading into round 4 of the competition. Kerry, 3 wins from 3. Donegal still looking for the first win, but green shoots. This is the first time I think Donegal will feel this season that they're making progress.
Yeah, I know they'd be disappointed with the actual outcome of it, but right to the last kick of the game, they were in it. They could have gone anyway at the very end of the game. A lot of positive displays from their girls. Tara Hegarty, Suzanne White, obviously. A lot of subs that came in as well, did quite well. Same for Kerry. It'd be hard to pick there now as the time is going on. Pick your strongest 15. There's girls that are putting their hands up all around the field to put in a display for a number 1 to 15 jersey. So a lot of positives for both managements.
And your player of the match?
I suppose, like we said, it would be probably between Louise Nimura-Hertig and Suzanne White, but I suppose for the crucial scores at the right times, I'll go with Louise Nimura-Hertig.
1-8 for Louise Nimura-Hertig from Corkagwina, including that late penalty that turned out to be so crucial. Louise is Mags's choice for player of the match. My thanks to Mags O'Donoghue for her co-commentary and analysis this afternoon. Thanks to James on camera, Rory in production. That's it from us here at Austin Stack Park in Tralee. The Lidl Ladies National League Division 1 round 3 game has finished in a narrow win for Kerry. Final scoreline, Kerry 210, Donegal 111.
We were told the game was over before we'd even started. We were told our bodies weren't made for it. It wasn't our time to play. We played anyway. And together we played like there was no tomorrow. And they told us that was fine. You can play. You're good enough. And thought that was good enough for us. It wasn't. We are relentless. The game isn't over until we say it's over. Until we get everything we've given everything for. Until we level the playing field.
Lidl, proud supporters of ladies Gaelic football.
You still haven't gone full Lidl. Go on, make big savings like this lot.